and their other jobs as parents, but the early years really are the most important in a child's life, and I look forward to working with her on that.
Ray Goldman, Liberal Democrat spokesperson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'd like to draw the attention of the House to my register of interests. Mr. Speaker, yesterday the Secretary of State for Housing, Communities and Local Government made a statement to this House in which she said that she had agreed to delay the local elections in some areas for 1 year. I have to confess that I'm a bit confused, Mr. Speaker, because my local council, Essex County Council, is one of those areas. And in the briefing papers for the extraordinary full council meeting of Essex County Council that took place on the 10th of January, it says, and I quote, "The leader is minded to support the proposal to postpone the elections in order to maximise capacity for the transition process, whilst noting that this would lead to a 2 or 3 year postponement. So rather longer than the 1 year the Secretary of State announced yesterday. Whilst noting that Essex County councillors are usually elected for a 4-year term and that a postponement, really a cancellation of elections for 3 years, would be extending their terms of office by 75%, would the Leader of the House grant a debate in government time on the principles of democracy in the United Kingdom?
Leader.
Well, can I first of all thank the Honourable Lady for what she raised with me last week in terms of the PCSOs in Essex, and I'm sure that she and many other colleagues across Essex will be pleased with the news subsequent to her raising this last week. I'm sure not unrelated, that in fact those PCSOs have now been saved from the axe, and that in fact the government has doubled the money available for neighbourhood policing last Friday as well. She raises the issues of elections and the elections that were not going to happen, now not going to happen in Essex. We set a very high bar for the postponement of any elections this year. They are a postponement for 1 year, and in her case in Essex, it's in order that the Greater Essex mayoral authority can be established and elections for that mayoral authority to take place in May 2026. That is absolutely the intention. And I would just say to the Honourable Lady that I know these changes do take time and they can cause difficulties in local areas, but the devolution revolution that is coming her way through those changes will bring extra jobs, growth, better services, better transport and more power to her communities in Essex, and I hope she'll welcome that.
Brenda Joseph.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Firstly, can I welcome the Prime Minister's recent comments about supporting and enabling the expansion of nuclear power stations in the UK through small modular reactors. Whilst the science and technology is well proven, there are other aspects that are required to be developed alongside, including provision of appropriate grade nuclear fuel and a permanent solution for nuclear waste. In recent days, I've met with representatives of Urenco, a specialist uranium enrichment and fuel provider, and nuclear waste services, who are developing plans for UK's first geological disposal facility. Would the Leader of the House make time for the debate to ensure we give consideration to all aspects of the nuclear jigsaw to ensure a joined up and sustainable energy future?
Well, can I thank him for raising issues around the nuclear industry and nuclear waste disposal in particular. We do need to put some rocket boosters under nuclear power in this country. It is vital to our future energy security, but he's absolutely right that we have to do that alongside rigorous safety standards and issues around waste disposal and other matters. I will ensure that he's updated and that the House is kept updated on these important matters.
Bob Blackman.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. In addition to the business that the Leader has announced, in Westminster Hall on the 11th of Tuesday the 11th of February, there'll be a debate on the cost of energy. On Thursday the 13th, the debate on HIV testing week, followed by a debate on prevention of cardiovascular disease. And when we return after the recess, on Tuesday the 25th, there'll be a debate on maternity services, and on Thursday the 27th, a debate on rural crime, followed by a debate on women's health. I'm grateful to the Leader for announcing the date for Estimates Day debates. I'm aware that at least 6 select committees are considering putting a request in. For new colleagues, this is an opportunity to debate the work and spending of a government department. It doesn't have to come via a select committee, but the Backbench Business Committee has put the application form on our website, and applications will close because of the recess on Friday the 25th of, Friday the 21st of February, and we'll consider the applications on Tuesday the 25th of February. Now, we have a queue, Madam Deputy Speaker, of debates for the Chamber. In fact, we could allocate every Thursday through past May, as things stand. And I note that the Leader has not yet announced what business will be allowed for the Backbench Business Committee after the recess, but we have pre-allocated, in the event that we've got Thursday the 27th, which would be a debate on the third year anniversary of the war in Ukraine, followed by a debate on St David's Day. If we are offered Thursday the 6th, we'll have a debate on International Women's Day, followed by a debate on political finance. I suggest that the Leader would be well advised not to upset any of those sponsors. Now, Madam Deputy Speaker, I know that the Leader does excellent work in advising government departments on responding not only to the questions we raise in this chamber, but also to letters and questions that are raised. However, to give an example of what has happened, the Honourable Member for Hornsey and Prime Barnet met this week with a group of Hindus from Bangladesh because of the atrocities that have been caused in Bangladesh. Now, I raised this with business questions, and Mr. Speaker allowed an urgent question on this subject the week following. I think it would be courtesy that the Minister would give a statement to the House on what action she is taking following that action. Equally, could I gently ask the Leader to make sure that when we ask questions, and she diligently writes to the departments, we actually get answers to the questions that we're asking, because both the quality and length of time it takes to get a question answered seems very, very poor at the moment.
House.
Well, can I thank the Chair of the Backbench Business Committee, as ever, for both advertising his forthcoming business, also advertising how the Estimates Day works and how important that is, especially for new colleagues for whom this will be the first such occasion. And of course, I absolutely hear his lobbying about the allocation of days, which of course I will take very seriously, as I always do, especially in relation to International Women's Day, because I don't want to upset the sisterhood by any means, so I will not do that. And he has raised and does continue to raise many issues relating to Hindu community, in this case in Bangladesh, and he was successful in getting some responses there. I will raise with the Foreign Office about whether there is further information that could be brought forward as a statement and that the House is kept updated. He is right to say I take extremely seriously the timely but also the proper response that I expect to see from ministers in relation to parliamentary questions and to correspondence, and I will always chase these. I do keep a track of the letters that I send in after business questions and also things that are raised with me. I do track these and I do take them up robustly. What I would just gently say to him and to other colleagues is we've seen an over 50% increase in the number of parliamentary written questions that have gone in since the election, and a huge increase in correspondence as well. So there is a bit of time that's needed to do that, but if anybody wants to raise with me, I will chase those letters, and I have got quite a good track record myself of getting responses when they're not otherwise forthcoming.
Graham Morris. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I'm sure you're aware, Madam Deputy Speaker, and what the Leader of the House is, that we're currently undergoing a digital refresh of computer equipment and laptops here in the House of Commons. I was rather disturbed to learn that the equipment that's handed in is crushed and sent to landfill. Digital poverty is a multifaceted issue which impacts all aspects of life. For younger children, educational platforms can't be accessed. job opportunities are harder to access.